Hey everybody, are we live? I think we are. Welcome to Three Song Thursday number 8. Turns out the theme here is stories of life and death. I didn't plan it that way, but when I thought about these 3 songs, I think that's what we're getting at. And thanks for joining me live. That's where all the fun happens. That's pretty cool. It's a good time to share so people can get in on the beginning of it. Thank you for that. And I love picking out these songs, because I go through my whole catalog. Like today, I picked. First song is from this record, my first record, 1996. Second song is from this record, my last record, and this was I think it was 2016. It's been 5 years, yeah. And then the last song that I do will be on this record, my second record. We're talking 1997, so I think that's interesting. And this first song I'm gonna play for you is called the Island Song, and it's on the first record. And I wrote a whole long story in my post and in my email about this song, so I'm not gonna go into great detail now, but I'll just say that this is the island in question. I'm holding it right here. It's called Eilau Island. It's off the coast of Hana, in Hana, Maui. And it's a story of heading out to my friend Art's house in Maui a long time ago and learning how much we all love the ocean and how Helen swam to this island. I've already shown you this, right? Swam to this island and was given up for dead. And then she swam back. And I've loved oceans ever since that time. And in fact, even this year, there'll be a song about it. And I'll tell you more about it. But this year, I almost died in Costa Rica. I could not get back in. And I later learned that 3 people had died on this beach in Costa Rica this year. And I had to head out there where the cruise ships are and work for about an hour and a half with fins. And I did get back. You know that because you're seeing me right now. Is it working? I'm not seeing any. Let me put my comments on. Oh, there you are. Hey, JD. Great to see you. Hi, Donna, my co-writer from Next Time Around. So nice to see you from Nashville. And Tom. Always split aces. Hey, Deborah. Michael Tisserand and Marilyn. Hi, Marilyn. It's good to know that you're there. And hi, Ann. Fantastic, from Minnesota. Yay. Well, that is fabulous. Good to be here with you. And I will get started with this one. This is called the Island Song. You were swimming to the island, telling those sharks to get out of your way, telling the ocean to keep still until you come back to Hana Bay. And the locals said that you couldn't do it, and the Coast Guard said be found alive, and the whole damn beach looking for that crazy girl who thumbs her nose at the laws of the tide. Oh, but you were swimming to the island, telling those sharks to get out of your way, telling the ocean to keep still until you come back to Hana Bay. And I remember sleeping on the beach that night. I held you tight and safe under the stars, as if I could hold you there with all my might. that I might keep you and keep you from harm. Out, you were swimming to the island, telling those sharks to get out of your way, telling the ocean to keep still until you come back to Hana Bay. Now we swam so hard and wild that night to the great unknown. I had to stop for fear, oh, but you just kept on going, 'cause you were swimming to the island, telling those sharks to get out of your way, telling the ocean to keep still until you come back to Hana Bay, till you come back to Hana Bay, till you come back, till you come back, till you come back. Thank you, guys. The crowd goes wild. I can feel it. Thank you for being here and joining me, listening. I appreciate it a lot. We've been having fun. This is number 8. And I got these 3 songs planned with a special added 4th song today, which I was coy about when I sent out my message, but I will tell you about it. But right now, I am going to play you this song I wrote with the great Paul Zollo, another co-write of ours. This song is called Baltimore. It's about the death of Edgar Allan Poe. And I was thinking about Dodie Crockett. Billy Crockett produced this album, and Dodie is Billy's wife. And Dodie's the reason this song is on that album, because she loved this song, and she told me so. And so I'll send it out to her tonight. And I'll also mention, this is a Halloween song. I'll tell you more about it later, but Ellis Paul's having a big shindig online Halloween night. Dan Navarro, Seth Gleer, Don Kahn, Rebecca Lobe. I'm forgetting so many names, I know, but it's going to be fun. In the meantime, Wendy, you love this song. That's great. Hey, Josh Orchard was the guy that set me up with this camera, this mic. He made sure all my stuff was happening. I see his comment there. That is awesome. Thank you, Josh. I want to go farther, Josh. I was thinking maybe you could come over here and we could even get a mixer and get some reverb on here. Who knows? Maybe it's fine. But I sure do appreciate what Josh Orchard. What's the name of your company? Media something. I don't know. Yeah, we will chat. Good to see you, Neil. It looks like you're watching on YouTube. So I know that I know you guys can watch on my Facebook profile. I think most of you are watching on that. But I've also got a Facebook music page now, brand new. Thanks for going over there and doing whatever you do. Hi, Daryl. Hi, Daryl S. Nice to see your name. But what was I saying? Oh, and then some of you are on YouTube, I know. So this goes out to a lot of places, which is a fun thing. Anyway, here's a Halloween song. It's called Baltimore. Through the shimmer of the river, you can see the lights of Harlem, the ghosts among the salt piles along the FDR. You can hear the heavy footsteps of the overworked and weary once upon a midnight night dreary, he was standing where you are. He wandered through Manhattan, searching for his true beloved. Though her worldly burden long lay buried in the earth, he sacrificed his scruples in attempts to resurrect her in the fundamental rhythm of death and birth. Edgar Allan Poe lived his last days in the Bronx. He lived his last days in the Bronx, but he died in Baltimore. Died in Baltimore. In Baltimore. And in a raging fever, he was sure he saw her spirit among the ghosts and phantoms, forever between trains. Her face was pale and hollow, but her eyes lit up in flashes as the snowflakes on her lashes fell upon her harbor chains. And he heard the holy music in the bells of New York City, where the loneliness and pity took him to the tavern door. And in a frail whisper, he said, "Tell me, pilgrim shadow, why do we aim for El Dorado just to die in Baltimore?" Edgar Allan Poe lived his last days in the Bronx. He lived his last days in the Bronx, but he died in Baltimore. He died in Baltimore. In Baltimore. They found him in a coma. His clothes had all been stolen, replaced by black alpaca and ragged gabardine. All the people in the tavern swore that he'd left sober, even though it was October and just days from Halloween. No one ever did discover the seeds of his destruction, be it alcohol or opium, typhus or TB, or maybe he got shanghaied on some street obscure and lonely, haunted by dark angels only, down to the sounding sea. Edgar Allan Poe lived his last days in the Bronx. He lived his last days in the Bronx, but he died in Baltimore. He died in Baltimore. In Baltimore. Happy Halloween, everybody. I know some Michael Tisserand said something about my orange shirt. I don't know. Maybe it's the lighting. This is actually a pink shirt. But, oh, nice to see everybody. Robin Pressman is here. Robin Pressman. Oh, my goodness. Co-director of Camp Ned and the host this year with Fred in Occidental, California. Lovely. Brother Rich. Heidi, nice to see you guys. It's fun to see your messages. Robert Morgan Fisher is here. So nice. Nancy's watching on YouTube. That's great. Elise Fisher. Can I say when I say hello to you, can I say that you're Dave Carter's sister? I don't think you mind that. I kind of love that about you. I love you anyway, but I'm glad you like that song. Kate. Orange shirt, Deborah says. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. Wow, you're all here. It's lovely. It's so nice to see you. And another big shout out to my co-writer on that, the great Paul Zolo. It's amazing to write songs with Paul. Such an honor, such a treat. And I'll say again, Ellis, Paul, Halloween night, same time I think, 5 o'clock West Coast, 8 o'clock East Coast. You got Dan Navarro. I'm forgetting the names. If anybody knows all the names, let me know because, yeah, Blue Dress Controversy, Michael Tisserand. I see that. I shouldn't look at that while I'm talking, probably, but I'm kind of happy. Good things are happening. There's going to be we're going to have a little announcement in the Daryl Purpose music world on Tuesday, and I'm excited about that. I know that's like 4 days away. It's a long time to wait. I hate waiting. But anyway, Halloween night, Laurie McAllister is going to be part of that. Ellis Paul is putting the whole deal on, and it's all his friends. It's all his best friends. It's Vance Gilbert is going to be there, and Dan Navarro, and Dawn Conoscente, and Rebecca Lobe. There must be other women, right, that I'm forgetting. I don't know, but it's going to be fun. And will Ellis Paul be on Facebook? Yes, Phil, he will. He will be on Facebook. Yes, Siggy, I am feeling better. It's still, yeah. I'll talk to you later. I am feeling better. I'm feeling good. But we've got one more song for you, and but I'm gonna make it 2 songs just for fun, because I can, and I'm gonna send this first one out. I was a little coy when I mentioned it because I didn't even tell you what it was gonna be. In fact, I'm not even gonna tell you now, but I'm gonna say that I'm sending this out to my good buddy Steve Brockway in Fort Collins, Colorado, DJ of the Folk Show on KRFC. And Steve never forgets to remember this artist of the first little intro song. And so I'll just send that out to him. And then we've got Singer-Songwriter Heaven. And I wrote a lot of that about that in my post and in my email. There's a great story. It was a great story when I discovered that song and discovered Kevin Faherty late night at the Kerrville. But actually, I wanted to show you this. This is an amazing thing. This is like the best thing I've ever done in my life. Okay, maybe Hyperbole, but you know, I like that. That's Kevin and his dog. And that's the list of 20 songs that are on the CD. Every one of them, except one of them, is performed by Kevin, but the other 19 are performed by his best friends, who are all like great singer-songwriters. Ellis Paul's on here. He also drew the front there. You can see Jim Croce and John Lennon there, and Townes Van Zandt and Kate Wolf. I don't know that people know what Kate Wolf looks like, but yeah, she's got a little halo. But this was a thing that I helped put together, and it's just a remarkable record. It's 20 of the greatest songs, all songs Kevin Faherty wrote. And as the writer of Singer-Songwriter Heaven, he didn't have to write any other songs really to be legendary, but he did. He wrote a lot of great songs. So find that anywhere you find music. Spotify, let's say. I know my songs on Spotify too. So here we go. There's a place in the world for a gambler. There's a burden only There's a place in the world for a gambler, and he sees, oh yes he sees, and he sees, oh yes he sees. There's a song in the heart of a woman that only the truest of loves can release. There's a song in the heart of a woman, set it free, oh set it free, set it free, oh set it free. There's a light at the edge of your darkness. There's a calm at the eye of every storm. There's a light at the edge of your darkness. Let it shine, oh let it shine. Let it shine, oh let it shine. Let it shine, oh let it shine. Let it shine. Oh. Well, last night I had a dream. I went to singer-songwriter heaven. Jim Croce was at the gate. He shook my hand, said, well, you've been expected. Let me hail you a taxi, show you these heavenly grounds. So he flagged down Harry Chapin, who was out just making rounds. Well, I gave him my best, how are you, Harry? And Harry said, up yours, I don't need your cheap imitation, son. Just get in now and close that door. He said, welcome to a state of mind called Alpha and Omega, where now is always sooner, and sooner is never later. Well, we took an alternative route right on past that writer's block. I saw Graham Parsons on Kate Wolf's porch singing country, folk, and rock, and nodding over coffee right outside the Angelic Cafe was Townes Van Zandt, Steve Goodman, Dave Carter, Nick Drake. So roll down your window, steal a good line if you hear one. Give one away if you have a spare one. There's a racket going on between cloud 7 and 11. On cloud 9 is where you'll find singer-songwriter heaven. Well, I said, stop the car, Harry. I really got to hear that conversation. He said, all right, but just remember now, the meter's running and you'll be paying. I heard Goodman say, you know what the trouble is with some songwriters down on earth? Why mucho, pointless chorus, and ditto, pretentious verse. Well, I was sitting 2 tables down, trying to go unnoticed and not to blush, 'cause I knew I had been guilty of exactly what he was speaking of. And then Fogelberg said, oh, I forgot what Fogelberg said, because it really was Stan Rogers. Stan Rogers said, you know what's so funny? It's just so many words, Kevin, so many words to this song. And now I'm going to sing it correctly. Well, I was sitting 2 tables down trying to go unnoticed and not to blush, because I knew I had been guilty of exactly what he was speaking of. And then John Lennon made a point that pierced open my whole point of view. He said they need an eye for the obvious and an ear for the goddamn truth. Well, I washed down that thought with a big old Cloud 9 espresso. I got back into the cab. I said, okay, Harry, there's just one thing I'd like to know. Why'd they all die so young? Seems they were all in their prime. He said, well, we need new songs up here too. Angels tired singing the same old rhymes. So roll down your window, steal a good line. If you hear one, give one away. If you have a spare one, there's a racket going on between Cloud 7 and 11. On Cloud 9 is where you'll find singer, songwriter heaven. Well, we passed a bunch of old coffee houses, Gertie's, Club 47. I said, what are these ancient places doing up here, Harry, in singer-songwriter heaven? He said, those rooms had a spirit, son. This is where great old spirits go. You see, all those years of music, why, I gave those rooms a soul. I said, okay, Harry, I would like to stay here now. Can you get me a room on that writer's block? He said, whoa, no can do that, son, and I hate to send you into shock, but this is only a dream for you. You better let these sweet memories dwell, 'cause tomorrow morning you wake up in Nashville. Singer-songwriter hell. Well, I felt like I'd been choked, just like a capo on the 12th fret. So I quickly recomposed myself, and then I remodulated my breath, and I said, up yours, Harry, as he brought his taxi to the proverbial stop, and I gave him $2.50 for a $20 fare, just to piss him off. Roll down your window, steal a good line. If you hear one, give one away. If you have a spare one, there's a racket going on between Cloud 7 and 11. On Cloud 9 is where you'll find singer, songwriter heaven. Woohoo! Thank you, Kevin, for that great song. A couple things I want to tell you. First of all, I put a picture on a post that you guys probably wouldn't. I thought you would like the picture. You probably didn't recognize it though, and it was me and Helen from the Island Song when in our 20s. I know we didn't show our eyes, so you had to guess. I guess I left you guessing, so I'm telling you now. I also want to tell you that Blue Rock Live with Willie Porter. If you're watching this live, find Blue Rock right now and see a whole set from Willie Porter. That's a really great idea. And I'll see you with Ellis Paul on Halloween night. I appreciate you joining me here today. And we'll see you next week on 3 Song Thursday. See you then. In broadcast? Yes.